Good evening. It's one of those nights, it feels like spring. It's 65 degrees right now. 65 degrees in western Pennsylvania in the second week of February, which is completely crazy. And I just want to show you what we've got going on right now. Chickens are giving us one egg every other day, so we are starting to get back into it. We're kind of evaluating over the next month or so if current flock is going to keep us in eggs or if it's time to purchase some new ones. Our original 5 are almost 5 years old, which is pretty old for a chicken. But as soon as the weather gets a little bit nice, that's Goldie right there. Goldie's ready to go places. So you kind of know that spring's coming because you come out and she immediately comes to the gate and starts chirping at you like, I've been in here long enough. It's time to go somewhere. So we're going to grab her and anybody else that feels like getting caught, probably not everybody, but, and take them out, and I'll show you where I'm going to put them and why we put them there. So hang on. Are you ready? Are you ready to go? So she wasn't quite as ready to go as she thought she was, but she still likes to go. And at some point you may hear a dog barking. That's because Nala, our German Shepherd, is fairly certain anytime we do anything with the chickens that she most definitely should be helping us. Which one of those things, it's hard to know. She might actually kind of help us, but she might also accidentally kill a chicken because she's big and strong. And the only way to know which way is going to go is to let it happen. So we're probably not going to do that. Can't get, that light is beautiful, but I can't quite get it in the camera. It's okay, ma'am. Okay. So our chickens' job in the winter is to make us compost. And then also what we do is put them, you stay in there. So the thing that our chickens do for us, besides make us compost and give us eggs and eat bugs, is we put them kind of in landscaping beds. Like right now, those are our blackberries. So I'm gonna put them in there to kind of scratch up and maybe eat some of the weeds and the weed seeds underneath the raspberries, blackberries, maybe fertilize it a little bit, that kind of thing. And so we'll kind of do that before we're ready to put them in the mobile tractor for the summer, or spring, summer, fall, like kind of from the time the weather breaks until it starts getting pretty cold and the grass completely stops. They're in a mobile tractor. Let's go see if anybody else wants to go. Anybody else coming? Do you want to go, Floppy? Hi, Katie. Do we want to go? One more chicken. This one is our girl's favorites. She is by far our smallest chicken. I think it's crazy when you pick her up. Like, she feels so tiny. But listen, whenever you're carrying her, she's kind of like purrs. Yeah. Well, honey, you're gonna show 'em? Yep. Burp, burp, burp. She kind of does that the whole time you're carrying her, which is kind of cute. So I think this is good because it's getting late enough. They're not going to want to be out here very long because when we get close to sunset, they want to go to bed. But it makes it easier to catch them because they're ready to go to bed. But they can do a little bit of work for us. I don't think this is their favorite spot because the blackberry canes are prickly, but they'll get in there, they'll eat some bugs, they'll eat some weed seed, they'll scratch up underneath and kind of aerate the soil a little bit, and they'll poop, so they'll fertilize down underneath the blackberries. The nice thing is it's well before they're actually going to be producing, so it has plenty of time to break down, and this is one of their other jobs. Look at that sunset. Isn't that beautiful? Sunsets have been something I have loved my whole life. I grew up on the top of a big old hill, and the sunsets were just amazing. Let me grab the dogs. It is time to go gather sap. My husband's picking up propane so that we can keep boiling our sap. We've said before, you can come. It may be more cost effective to use firewood to boil our sap, but the way we do it, come on sir, let's go for a walk, come on. The way we do it, that we're able to use the propane burners right attached to the house, the greenhouse is attached to the house, makes it so that we can be boiling sap while we're making dinner, and we can be boiling sap and checking it while the kids are doing homework. And if we did it, I need to hook the border collie up. Huh, buddy? You don't need to be hooked up because you stay. Well, he kind of stays. He just doesn't like strangers. Huh, buddy? But we can be doing other things and housework and evening chores and dinner and those kind of things while we're boiling this up. If we tried to use firewood and have something set up outside, it helps to have a bucket. Set my bucket down. But yeah, if we were using firewood, we'd have to be outside away from the house. Ma'am, come on. And that wouldn't make it possible to do the amount that we do because we have other obligations. We can't have one of us, you know, away from the house on a work night. Come on, sir. This guy's so pretty. On a work night when we're doing other things and making dinner and prepping lunches and all of the things. So the turkey roasters or the turkey fryers or whatever you call them, propane burners, make it possible to be able to do this with other things that we have going on in life. Which kind of is the goal, right? Growing your own food fit in a lifestyle that you have and not trying to make something unfeasible. Am I making up words? I might be making up words. I think you understand what I mean. But just making something try to fit when it doesn't. This fits. We don't have a ton of sap. I think we've got a little over 5 gallons. I actually donated some to our cooking classes today so that they could have the wonderful smell of maple simmering on the stove. Here. Ma'am, come on over. Come on over here, sir. Okay, sit. Oh, yeah. He's a good boy. Yes, ma'am, you are. I know. You two are just the best dogs. It's like some of the insects woke up today. We've got some insects in the sap. That's why the pillowcase in the bucket. Hi, sir. No, what are you doing? He's licking the handle on the tripod. So we use pillowcases to filter the sap to get like bugs and like little pieces of debris and things that end up in the bucket out. And that's why it's there. As the season progresses and it warms up more during the day, there is always the possibility of some ants and bugs in the sap. And it's just kind of part of growing your own food. When you grow, make, boil, harvest your own food, you realize, buddy, do you know your face is right in the camera? But when you harvest, like I said, when you harvest, boil, gather, grow your own food, you realize real food has holes. Real food doesn't look perfect. It's not perfectly shaped all the time. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's the most beautiful thing in the world. But it's not supposed to be perfect. It's not supposed to be perfectly uniform. It's not supposed to be without blemishes. As are we. We are not supposed to be without imperfections and blemishes. And we're not all supposed to look the same. Okay, let's get some more sap. I have been around dogs my whole life. We've had some mutts. We had some beagles. We had some full border collie. We had a border collie mix. I had the absolute joy of having a Samoyed as my first dog as a grown-up. She was just wonderful. Our last dog was a border collie. She was a rehome. There was a family that was looking to scale back their number of dogs, and we're looking for a home for a 9-year-old border collie. And she came to live with us, and she was a wonderful, wonderful dog. Come on. She stayed with us. She was almost 17, so she was a good dog. Wonderful for the girls. And now we're the crazy people that have 2 very young dogs. Lucky, my border collie cross here is just turned 2. And he is a really nice dog, except he doesn't like strangers, and he's having some health problems, which make him sometimes not a nice dog, unfortunately. We're working on figuring that out. And then Nala, my husband has always wanted a German Shepherd, and so Nala kind of came up on like one of those, neighborhood apps. Just actually, I think we got her Valentine's Day, right around Valentine's Day, about a year ago. Hey, ma'am. She is convinced. We have a kitty cat over there who's pretty much likes to be an outdoor cat. She has actually boycotted coming into the house. She's one of those, if you try to pick her up and bring her in, she's one of those will do the cat, like levitate, fly through the air and take off. Nala, hey, Nala, you leave her be. Come on, ma'am. So she's decided she's an outdoor cat. Ouch. Nala is certain that she wants to play. Crazy thing is, when she used to come inside, like her and Nala would lay next to each other. Like if there's a blanket on the floor, they'd be laying next to each other on the blanket. She just, I don't know. Okay, let's get this out. This is our other red maple. This one, I'm not sure. The last one that we just grabbed and this one, which one's the biggest? They're both massive, massive trees, and they're just gorgeous. Hi, buddy. Here, you look at the camera. You talk to the camera, buddy. I'm not sure which one's bigger. They're beautiful. Sometimes we get very needy. You're okay. Anyway, I forgot to finish the thought. German Shepherds are just, ma'am, you stay with us. Like, I've always had pretty smart dogs, but I can tell you, Border Collie smart and German Shepherd smart, 2 completely different things. Ma'am, come on. All right, so again, we have 5 maple trees. That's it. None of them are sugar maples. We're at 3 gallons, just over 3 gallons of syrup. And we started, I think, like January 16th, 17th, something like that. So not even a full month yet. We have, we're finishing some on the stove or on the burner right now from last night. It will probably be 1.5 quarts, 2 quarts, so there's another ½ gallon. I gave the cooking department, or the Family Consumer Science department, 5 gallons of sap today for them to boil down and show the kids the process. And I've got a 5-gallon bucket to the brim right here. We might not get any tomorrow because I don't think we're supposed to freeze tonight, but like from that point on, we've got like 4 or 5 days that are like dipped to freezing at night, well over freezing during the day. The sap's going to be flying out of the trees. So it amazes me what these can produce. Now, if we were to sit back and calculate how much money we have in supplies, propane, and all of that, and try to calculate how much money we're paying to make our own sap, it may not balance out. But it's a gorgeous night and the house is a mess. If I didn't have something to come outside and do, there's a very good chance that the house wouldn't be such a mess, but I wouldn't have gotten outside tonight because I would have felt obligated to get the inside work done. But because I had a reason to come outside and check on the chickens and check the sap buckets and gather sap, I've gotten some fresh air. I've been outside. I've cleared my head. So if you put a value on those things, it's well worth it. So a little bit of philosophy on getting outside, harvesting some of your own food if you're able and have the space, or have a garden and able to get your hands in the soil. It's a reason to get outside sometimes when you wouldn't normally, and it's well worth it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.